So to begin this program, I request Shaila Ashirwad from first year BA HEP to invoke God blessings. Michelle Ashirwad, I request you to begin the prayer song.
Yes, sir. Is the music audible, sir? Hello? Sir, is the music audible?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes, it
audible.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's audible.
As the deer panted for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You're my friend, and you are my brother, even though you are the king. I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. Thank you.
Hello. So can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Prashant.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think there's some network fluctuation here. Just a moment, sir. Ma'am, if you can you disconnect the internet because it's getting stuck here. Sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Prashant, I can. Prashant, you have muted your mic. Prashant, I think you need to unmute.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, Prashant.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think there's some network issue here. That's why I'm extremely sorry for that. A very good evening to one and all present here. First of all, today is an auspicious day because we celebrate the Indian Constitution Day. Now, Indian Constitution Day is a day to be remembered and to be celebrated because it is the Indian Constitution which provides all the citizens of our country equal opportunities and rights to lead a very dignified life in our nation. And today we remember Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution. So the Indian Constitution came into force on January 26, 1950. Now, if you look at the preamble of Indian Constitution, it declares India as a sovereign, social, secular, and democratic republic, and aims to secure justice, liberty, equality to all its citizens and promote fraternity to maintain unity and integrity of the nation. The preamble is beautifully drafted, and then that talks about the crux of the entire constitution. So today it is a day which needs to be said. Country would not have provided opportunities for all the citizens of our country in the equal manner, and it has ensured that every individual in this nation has the opportunity to come up in life, both socially or economically and politically and so on. On this occasion, we, the Department of Humanities at St. Joseph's Evening College, we have organized this Constitution Day celebration, and as part of this celebration, we are having firstly, I would like to introduce Dr. Paul Newman. Dr. Paul Newman is the head of the Department of History in our very own college, and he is a very highly scholared person, and he has contributed towards various articles across the globe. He has contributed towards the Weekend Leader, the Social Action of Indian Social Institute, New Delhi. Right, he has written for Sri Lankan Guardian magazine, London, and then Colombo Telegraph, London. Right, and he has completed his PhD on the topic, a study on internal displacement and human rights situation in northern Sri Lanka from 1995 to 2000. That's when he completed his PhD. And he has worked at St. Joseph's College, Bangalore, Christ University, and he has been a UGC research fellow. So he has immense contribution to the field of education. So on this occasion, I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Paul Newman. Welcome, sir, for this panel discussion.
Thank you, Prashant. So can I start?
1 minute. I'll just introduce the other two as well, sir. Yeah. The second panelist for the day is Ms. Pauline Priya. Now, Ms. Pauline Priya is the Vice Principal of St. Joseph's College of Law. She has been working there since its inception, and she finished her master's in the area of international business law and secured second rank in LLM from the University Law College, Bangalore University. Right. And it gives us immense pleasure to have you as one of the panelists, Ms. Pauline Priya. So I take this opportunity on behalf of St. Joseph's Evening College, the director, principal, vice principal, and staff and students to welcome you for this panel discussion. Welcome, Ms. Pauline Priya.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And the third the third panelist for our discussion today is none other than Dr. Christopher Hoskins. Dr. Christopher Hoskins is the head of the Department of Political Science in our very own college, St. Joseph's Evening College. He has been teaching here for decades now, and he has contributed immensely towards the development of our college. He completed his PhD here in the year 1998. And then he also has written a book on human rights. I think he was, and he has been has so much love for the college that he goes out of his way to contribute anything for our college. So I take this opportunity to welcome you for this panel discussion, Dr. Christopher Hoskins.
Thank you so much, Prashant, for the warm welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I think we can begin the panel discussion. The first panelist for our day is Dr. Paul Newman. Panelists, please note, each of you will be getting 10 plus 2 minutes to present. And then last 10 to 15 minutes will be kept aside for a Q&A session. So I now request Dr. Paul Newman to give his talk.
Professor Prashant. Good evening, students. Today, as all of us know, we celebrate the Constitution Day. So when we speak of the Constitution, every year this event is commemorated across the country. This event is also known as the National Law Day, or it is also called as the Samvidhan Divas in India. So here on the 26th of November, to know the significance of this day, on the 26th of November, 1949, it was adopted. And then it came into force on the 26th of January, 1950. So 26th of January, 1950, India became a republic. So even to this day, we celebrate this day as the Republic Day. So 26th, the date, is a very significant date. So it was on the 26th of January 1930 that India declared its independence. The Congress declared its independence in 1930 on the 26th of January. So in order to give importance to this date, 26th, the Constituent Assembly decided to adopt the Constitution on this particular date, that is 26th, but then the months differed. It was in November. Then after the Constitution was adopted, it was on this very same day that it came into force on the 26th of January 1950. So to mark the 125th birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in the year 2015, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, marked this day as the Constitution Day. Till then, it was celebrated as Citizenship Day. Till 2015, it was celebrated as Citizenship Day. From 2015 onwards, we celebrate this day as the Constitution Day. So the aim of this day is to bring an awareness on the importance of the Constitution as well as importance on the architect of the Constitution. That is, the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So we need to know not only about the Indian Constitution, but also need to be aware of the architect of this Constitution, that is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That was the aim of celebrating this day as the Constitution Day. So here I will speak more on the significance of the day and Ambedkar, and Dr. Christopher will speak on the Constitution. So as many may know, the name of B.R. Ambedkar, the full name is Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. He was born on the 14th of April, 1891 at a place called as Mhow, M-H-O-W, Mhow in Maharashtra. So he lived till the 6th of December, 1956. So he is considered as the greatest leader of the Dalit community. The Dalits means formerly they were known as the untouchables. And when the first independent ministry in India was formed, he became India's first law minister from the year 1947 till the time he resigned in 1951. 1951, he resigned. He was a brilliant student, a student of economics. He was the first Indian to pursue a doctorate in economics. He studied at the Columbia University and later on at the London School of Economics, where he secured his PhD. Thereby, he became the first person from South Asia to be conferred with the degree of PhD in economics. Apart from that, he completed 4 other doctoral theses. Ambedkar completed 4 PhDs. Apart from that, he had 2 master degrees. That apart, he was an eminent scholar on jurisprudence, wherein he held the degree of barrister at law. He was a lexicographer. Apart from that, he compiled Pali language dictionary. Pali is an ancient language that is no more in existence. So he compiled a dictionary in that language. Then he knew many European languages, including French and Italian. That apart, he also knew many Indian languages, including what we call as the dead language of Sanskrit. So born in a Dalit Mahar family, he was a boy who was humiliated by the upper caste school fellows right from the time he was in school. His father was an officer in the Indian Army. He was the 14th child of the family. But then, as a brilliant child, he showed lots of promise in the field of education. That is where he secured a scholarship by the ruler of Baroda. The ruler of Baroda was called as the Gaikwad of Baroda. Then Baroda was then called as Vadodara. Then he studied in the universities, not only in US, but also in Britain as well as in Germany. Then on return, he qualified himself by writing a civil service examination. He became an officer at the Baroda, passing the Baroda public service exams. But then there again, he was ill-treated. So that is where he felt that he has to take up legal profession, practice law in order to end untouchability in India. So he soon established himself as the foremost leader of the Dalits. As a great scholar and writer, he was instrumental in founding many journals. And on behalf of the Dalits, he started writing a number of very, very eye-opening articles about the kind of oppressions that the Dalits were subject to. That apart, he contested elections to the Legislative Council and then won the elections. And then he even contested the claims of Mahatma Gandhi, who called the Dalits as Harijans. He objected to that. He said that we are not Harijan, we are Dalits, the untouchable, he said. Then when India was formed, though he was not a good friend of Jawaharlal Nehru wanted him to be part of his ministry because he was one among the 5 great intellectuals in the world at that point of time. So it is here that Ambedkar was appointed as the Law Minister of India. And as the Law Minister of India, he took a leading part in the framing of the Indian Constitution, wherein he was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution. So here he made it very, very clear that discrimination against the untouchables would be made as an outlaw. So the law would not accept any kind of discrimination based on caste, creed, or color. And that skillfully helped to steer it through the assembly. And in the year 1951, he was disappointed that the government would not take some of his recommendations, especially the recommendation for giving right to the women to get a share in the property, for inheritance of the property. So protesting against this, he resigned in the year 1951. Then in October 1956, he died in December 1956. In October 1956, 2 months before his death, he's converted from a Hindu. He renounced Buddhism and became a Buddhist, along with 2 lakh followers at a ceremony that was conducted in Nagpur. He said that I am born as a Hindu, but I will never die as a Hindu because I am not even allowed to enter into a temple. So why should I belong to such a religion, was his question. And again, I want to just point out three great contributions of Ambedkar to the modern world. So Ambedkar was the one who conceptualized the Reserve Bank of India and presented the guidelines to a British commission called as the Hilton Young Commission, based on a book he had written. The title of the book which he wrote was The Problem of the Rupee, its origin and its solution, wherein he said that if India has a central bank in the form of the Reserve Bank of India, many of India's currency issues could be solved. So that gave shape to the establishment of the Reserve Bank of India. That apart, he was the second important part of Ambedkar, was that he was the one who started and recognized the labor rights of people. He is seen as the savior of the labor rights movement in India. So this afternoon and in the evening, I was telling my colleagues that the working hours in India was 14 hours under the colonial rule of the British. By law, it was 14 hours. Without law, people would even extend that. So here, legally, Ambedkar took the lead in bringing down this 14-hour to about 12 hours. So he fought cases, filed cases against the British government and took up the issue as a Labour member of the Viceroy's Executive Council between 1942 to 1946. He was a Labour member of the Viceroy's Executive Council. He took up the challenge and then took the matter to the Viceroy and got the law changed, wherein the working hours was reduced from 14 to 12. And when he became the Law Minister of India in the year 1947, he further got it reduced from 12 hours to 8. Even to this day, we follow only the 8 working hours. So this is a great contribution of Ambedkar. The next great contribution of Ambedkar was towards the rights of the women. Ambedkar was the one to introduce the Hindu Code Bill, through which inheritance of the property by women was recognized. Otherwise, till then, only men